Welcome to Steam and Soul, the podcast where heat meets heart. Stories from saunas around the world, from silent sweat to loud laughers. This is where people connect, relax, and open up. Take a breath and let's dive in. Welcome back to Steam and Soul. I'm Matze, and today's episode is something truly special. My guest is Eveline Temmermann, an inspiring aromatherapist and herbalist from Belgium, and one of the creative force behind Aromen. She's been teaching and guiding others in the world of essential oils and plant rituals for over 15 years. We had such a deep and wide-ranging conversation that I decided to split it into two parts, and this is part one. In this first half, we explore Eveline's personal journey, what it really means to be a herbalist, how rituals are created, and the mission that drives Aromen as a brand and as a movement. Let's take a sneak peek into her inspiring sessions, her role at Aromen, and the energy she brings into every drop and moment. Enjoy part one of my conversation with Eveline, and let's slide in. So welcome to Steam and Soul, the podcast that dives deep into global sauna culture and the people who shape it. If you love the ritual, the energy and the stories behind the steam, make sure to follow the show and never miss an episode. Today's guest takes us into a world, begins with brief and unfolds in memory, emotions and presence. Eveline Temmermann is aromatherapist and the creative soul behind Belgian company Aromen. She doesn't just work with essential oils, she lives them. In this episode, we talked about what true aromatherapy really is, how scents connect with our inner world, and how they play a powerful role in sauna rituals. So take a deep breath and let's step into the aromatic side of sauna culture. So happy to have you here. Welcome, Eveline. Nice to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So it's amazing to have you here as one of the most experienced people in the herbal area and with aromas I know so far. So thanks for joining the podcast today. And I think also a lot of people in the audience will know you, but for the people who don't know you, it would be cool if you can say something about you. So who are you? What are you doing right now? And yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. So I think in the sauna community, people know me as the herbalist from Aromen. And I do most of the content creating of Aromen. I dive deep into all the botanicals and the natural side of how we can improve natural wellness. That's how people know me most. But actually, I've been a herbalist for the last 15 years. And I come from a more medicinal path where I use herbs to improve people's health, both mentally and physically. So now I'm adapting a little bit more to the wellness side of herbal use.
Okay, cool. That sounds interesting. So how did you start? Did you do an education in this sector that you get taught by, or how does your journey start with this, what you taught?
Okay. So my journey starts when I was a toddler, tapping my feet in the muddy water. No, I think it's always been inside of me. I always had a strong connection with nature, and not only nature, but also different cultures, ancient stories. That's where I felt home. And I actually struggled a lot because when you grow up, they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? But I didn't have like a fixed job that sounded amazing. I thought being an adult and sitting at a desk for 8 hours was like slowly dying. So I had a little bit of trouble finding how I could make a career into my passion of my passion. And I actually started studying journalism. And so, yeah, I'm a journalist by training. And afterwards, when I saw how disappointing the world of journalism is, I I went and just worked and did internships with natural healers, also from Germany, like EAV doctors and um, like dentists who did like holistic healing and all these different pathways, but I was always drawn to nature. So then I started doing massage courses so I could use my essential oils, my oils. And at night and in the weekends, I was doing massages, and then I could study herbalism during the day. And in one
Wow.
year, I finished the 3 year course of herbalism. And then I just started as a herbalist and started teaching straight away. And I've been doing that for 15 years alongside other projects and teaching and creating. And that's how I rolled into this community as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Maybe one step back. How did you get the connection to all these healers that you were starting with? How did it start? Because I think it's not that you write someone and then they invite you and say, "Hey, cool, Evelyn, sure, come to us and let's do something." Or how was it?
That's true. So, as a lot of herbalists, I've had some medical issues, so health issues, and I
Hmm.
never found connection to doctors. Firstly, I didn't
Hmm.
trust them, I didn't like them, they didn't listen, and whatever they said, it didn't resonate with me, it didn't work. So I felt very frustrated, and I started looking in different pathways. And I have the blessing of having a mother who is also very open to this lifestyle. She is more like more spiritual. I'm more the healing capacity, but she connected me with some very good holistic healers. And as soon as I connected, the world just opened again. Everything clicked. I found my core self again, and they picked up on it. As I said, I was a journalist, so I'm kind of good in asking tons of questions and learning and being very curious. So I
Cool.
just kind of rolled into that, and they took me as an intern and gave me the freedom to create a herbal garden and just learn and work in that environment. Yeah. Maybe you know about that, the
Wow.
German part, the Kneipp therapy.
Yes,
I've
I
learned
know
it
about.
there as well.
Ah,
So it started when I was in my early
okay.
20s. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Wow. So really cool. So what is there different types of healers or holistic healers or what? Maybe you can explain this to me because I never get in touch with this people, this sector so far. So also Kneipp is one part that I know. I met this or I saw this in Kronen 4 the first time, honestly, because in Germany nobody is teaching you. Also Kneipp is not present in Germany. Honestly, I
Really?
know it's come from here, but
Yeah.
nobody, everyone is doing it wrong. I think since I was in Safety 8 weeks ago, I didn't it even every time wrong. So I was
Oh,
not aware that you have to use the upper side of your heart, starting with the legs going up. And
yeah.
I never was doing that, honestly. So I was not aware. But it was really interesting. So what different areas you were developing at this time as well?
So there are tons of different types of healers, and for me, there is one specific thing that matters to me. There is more like the spiritual side, where people are talking about auras and cleansing and all those things, which is fine. But for me personally, I feel more comfortable with something you can touch, right? That doesn't mean I don't believe in it, but I need the double connection. I feel more comfortable grounded with my feet in the earth, working with my herbs and all those things. But I am open to the expertise of each and every one. The only thing is, what I've discovered is you can say you're a healer, but as with doctors, there are good ones, there are bad ones. So trust your gut instinct as soon as you meet someone and there is no connection, walk away with no shame. Um, yeah, but I personally love the healers who have some medical background because they can explain and deep dive, and the ones that are open to the folklore and the magical side of the plants, but can connect it to the medicinal part. That's my ultimate favorite. Yeah.
Wow. That sounds so interesting. Cool. And then you did your school for herbalist in 1 year instead of 3. How did you
Yes.
do that when you were working in the night doing massages and then during the day studying? So
Yeah.
you're a talent, or how did you do?
No, no, no. It's just, yeah, no. There is nothing special about it, but I was doing it in an evening course first, and then it would have taken me 3 years. But the teacher, who also became my mentor, the best herbalist of Belgium in my eyes, she saw some potential in me, and she said, "You really have to dive deep and just engage for a full year." And she said, if you want to reach that quality, you really have to just do the daytime course. So then I had to figure it out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that it was a school where you're also working right now, where you get taught by, or
Yeah.
is it the same one? Yeah,
It's the same
cool.
one. Yes.
So nice. And you are now a herbalist teacher since 15 years. Amazing.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell me and the audience what is the definition of a herbalist? Also, what is the meaning of a herbalist if you can describe it?
Okay. So a herbalist, there are different approaches to it, but in general, we are just people who work with the entire plant. So we don't extract different compounds from the plant. We just study the plant, study which part of the plant you can use, which medicinal impacts it has, what our limits are, and then we process that herb and use it as some type of supplement or some type of natural medicine. That's what we do basically.
Yeah. So that means that it's not really a sector that is only connected to sauna. Also if you maybe look at where the place is of an herbalist, so I think you have then different sectors. You can use it in a sauna, the part of that what you're learning, but it's also, as you said, it's part of massages and other rituals.
It's
I think
everything. Yeah, it's
everything.
everything. As
Also
I
smoking, also smoke
yes,
rituals, everything. Okay.
yes, everything. So there
Okay.
is no limit to the world of herbalism, which
Okay.
is so much fun because I will be able to learn until I die. Um, Yeah, but to me, it's similar. It fits the sauna so well because it's something that triggers our ancient DNA, something we have lost in modern worlds. But once we start working with plants or we enter a sauna naked, we see the fire, we feel the heat. There is something that awakens inside of you that you don't really remember was there, but it gets your blood flowing. And we are still alive, thankful to the herbs or thank to the herbs. Um, yeah, we've used that as medicine, as food, as economic means. So there is no human life without plant life. We just forgot a little bit, and it's very nice to be able to discover that in medicinal pathways, wellness pathways, in whatever possible way.
It's a really nice picture what you were describing. That's really cool. I would like to dive deep a bit more in the education, so in the herbalist education. So what you are learning there? Maybe you can give us a bit more insights. So how is the school? Are you going to a school and then it's only theoretical, or you're really doing a lot of practical things, or like making oils? Or also, I would really like to understand what is part of the class or
Yeah.
the course.
So people actually underestimate a little bit. They say, "Oh, how nice working with herbs," but it actually takes 2 full years of only theoretical course because you
Yes.
have, yeah, because it's lovely, but it can also be very dangerous, and you are impacting people's well-being, both medically and psychologically. So, and also I love that part. It sounds a little bit creepy, but I love the part where there is dark side and there is a light side of the herbs. So if you know what you're doing,
Ah,
you're on the
okay.
light side, the good side of the herbs. But make one foolish mistake and things can go badly very quickly. So you need to provide people with the basic knowledge. So that means chemistry, plant knowledge, medicinal knowledge, the plant compounds. So everything about that you have to really incorporate. And then in the third year, where it's like a specialized year, we go wild. We get to experiment and create and make all kinds of things with these herbs, but without that safety barrier, and also very important is the law part of it, like what is allowed to do with herbal medicine and what is not.
Is
So,
there a regulation?
ooh,
I never.
it's extremely strict.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, for example, what most people don't know is I have a herbal garden outside. I am not
Yeah.
allowed to use or pick my fresh herbs and make something with them to give to people. Give, yes, but sell, no. So I can't even use my own fresh plant material to heal people, let's say.
So you have to prove then the quality and where you get it, or what is necessary if you use this example that you maybe can sell your own herbs that you're growing in your garden. What would be the regulation saying?
Yeah, so then you have to provide a soil sample every time, and it has to go to a lab, and then you have to be able to, each batch that you would harvest, it needs to have a chemical analysis before you can
Oh,
do something with it. But no one can afford that with a
yeah,
tiny, yeah, so
absolutely.
I use
But
it for
then,
myself and family.
okay, but then it's like treating like a medicine, or it's comparable. Like the herbs are then
Yes.
on the same category like normal medicine.
Yes, and
Okay.
some herbs are even on the forbidden list. So we have
Oh,
lists
okay.
where all the
Hmm.
plants are named like list A, B, C. And for example, list A, they are good to go. You can just use them. List B, you can use them, but only if you can show that only this amount of compound is inside of the plant. And then we have
Okay.
list C, and they are completely forbidden to use internally.
Do you have an example for list C, as of which herbs are forbidden ones?
Yeah, I have a very stupid example. Um, I will
Let's
just
share.
say I will just say it in the botanical name because I don't always know the. So
All good.
Symphytum officinalis. So Symphytum officinalis. It's my favorite plant. It's the miracle herb. It's where I performed my first miracle with. So it's always
Okay.
close to my heart. And just like in the war, we ate it. It was just food for us. Our grandparents, they just ate it. And now they've put it on the list of forbidden herbs to use internally. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
stupid, but I have to educate people.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
And you said before that the herbs they have a good side and a bad side, and if you're on the good side, everything is fine. What
Mhm.
could be happen on the bad side? Do you have an example for what is like an extreme? What can happen if you use it, or if you overuse it, or if you use it wrongly?
Okay. Well, tons of things can go wrong. First of all, you might have found the plant that you wanted to use, but you used the wrong part of the plant. So, or you harvest it in the wrong time of the year. Then the plant compounds all are already completely different, for example. But there is an interesting one that people don't always know, is like plants with lots of coumarine inside, which is a plant compound. They are perfectly fine to use, but if you dry them in the wrong way, so you identify it, you have the right plant parts, everything is fine, but you dry them in the wrong way, the coumarine, it just changes into dicumarol and then it becomes very toxic and you can have serious internal bleeding. And there is nothing you can see about the dried plant that something happened. It's just a chemical response. So lots of things can go wrong very quickly.
Okay, interesting. That's really
Don't want to
interesting.
sound so excited about that, but
No, no, no. That makes also a lot of sense. Why you need so many theoretical knowledge that you really know every detail, every compounds, what can happen, and also the chemical reactions. As you said, if you're drying a herb, I would not come to the idea that then it's getting toxic by drying a
Mhm.
herb.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to hear. Wow. Okay, that's the question is how we can dive deep a bit more into this topic because I would like to maybe we start with this way. You're also doing rituals, right? By your
Yes,
own. So you're developing and you're creating rituals. Maybe you
but I'm not
can,
performing them. I'm
yeah,
creating them,
yeah, but
but
Let's stay at this part, but I would like to understand how you create a ritual. With how did you start, and then if you decide, maybe we can try an example. Maybe you have something in mind what you would like to share, that we can go a bit in detail. What are you doing with the herbs? Are you trying them in which way, or I don't know what ritual you have in mind? But that would be cool to
Mhm.
understand maybe a bit more. Do
Are
you
we
have any
talking
things in?
wellness community or are we talking personal?
You can decide. Up to you. Up to you.
Okay. So, yeah, personally, I've been doing rituals as long as I can remember, just as a teenager already, using herbs and whatever felt sacred to me. Um, and I've always been very interested in, I wouldn't say religion, but different pathways of thinking, different ancient knowledge, natural healing, shamanism, all those things. I just learn from each culture. And I am a strong believer of not too many strict rules, just use your herbs and your gut feeling to provide rituals. And they can be very ornamental, like you actually make a circle and make teas and drink or ointments and all those things. Or they can be as simple as just tossing some salt over your shoulder, right? And when it comes to the wellness center, um, what's important to me is first you set an intention, like what is it that I would like to achieve? And then if you have that intention, let's say we want to do some relaxation, let's say, then I work a little bit differently. I have a very big love for words and vocabulary and stuff. So I go into those different cultures, find a word that speaks to me, and then I find herbs and all these kind of cool rituals that just match the entire setting. Um, and then, yeah, you select the herbs that are actually good for relaxing, the essential oils for it, the clays, everything. And I try to find as many ways possible to incorporate herbs into that ritual. So not only in the Aufguss water, but also with the whisks, with the clays, with everything has to be infused or connected to the herbs. That's what I love best.
I would absolutely agree. So so you're starting with like the vision or what you want to reach, and then you're working a bit backwards, if I understand it
Yes.
correctly. So
Hmm.
if you say, let's stay with the relaxation. So you want to achieve a relaxed ritual. And
Hmm.
then you have a lot of options for herbs, I could imagine, and smokes and whisks and what you can use. But
Yes.
how you then decided which one you would like to use? Because I think there are some combinations are doing better than others and something like that. And then you have maybe also different dimensions of relaxing. I don't know if
Yes.
maybe relaxing is like to calm down completely or only to ground yourself. So what's then the next step? So you decided relaxation and how you work on now. What's going on in
Okay,
your mind?
so let's
Maybe you can
say
share this.
we're going for relaxation. Then I'm
Yeah.
also thinking which season are we in? It's also nice to work a little bit seasonal. Which part of the day are we doing performing the ritual? Are we just like, let's say we just had a big epic lunch and we want some relaxation after lunch? Then I will use herbs that are relaxing the digestive system because when you relax the digestive system, your body relaxes, and if your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. Or I can say I want to relax an over agitated mind. Then I will more work mentally and on the nervous system. So this is the next step that I'm trying to provide. And there's another cool way to relax people, which is I don't know if you're familiar with the Tibetan Buddhism, but they say the breath is the gateway to your mind. So if you relax the breathing, and with herbs, we can slow the breathing and make sure you have deep breaths but slower. So people who don't want to be triggered mentally or with the nervous system, you slow down the breathing and the mind follows. So we have tons of way to relax, right?
So
Um,
cool. It's so cool to hear. So, how could you do this with the breathing? So, you're using then, can you maybe create a picture or an example for me to understand a bit more? So, you use then, for example, a whisk or smoke ritual, and
We
then,
can use
or are
anything.
you make an example only to get it a bit more sticky to me? Or are you also talking to the people then? So, are you also using the voice? Because um, what's the combination? Maybe you can make it a bit specified. It would be so cool. I'm so
Okay.
curious.
So, I don't perform these rituals in sauna, right? I just write them.
But you
Um,
know how to perform, the people have to
I do.
perform them. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, but that's an interesting part because, where my job ends, I give the torch to the Master
mm,
and he performs the magic. And this is what gives me the goosebumps because I have a vision,
mm,
but they have the energy they bring in the cabin, and that's where the magic happens, right? So they add to the ritual. But I write the inspiration sessions. And what I do is
mm.
I give a little bit of storytelling, like what I just did. Like I want to
Okay.
achieve relaxation. I We can also work on all parts of what I just wrote down. Like I can
Mm,
say in the first round we will relax the digestive system, and we can use herbal infusion and wave, for example. In the second part, we will slow down and deepen the breath with some essential oils. And in the last part, we will like build on top of that. So we will strengthen the function or the how it works, all these different herbs,
mm,
and build on top of it. And then I would use a smoke ritual because that's an easy link to calm the mind and the body and the breath. So you can use different types of herbal treatments in one sauna session and just uh, try to reach your clients in all different ways
mm.
because everyone is so individual. The one person will respond better on the digestive relaxation, the other one on the breath work, and the other one on the mental stimulation for that. Am I making sense or is that still too
Makes absolute
broad?
no, no, it
Ah,
makes absolutely
okay.
sense. I'm flashed from all the informations because this site was closed for me so far because I never was thinking on these three ways you can relax people, but it's so
Yeah.
interesting, really cool.
Be aware it will never stop now.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. What, oh, that's so cool. So maybe you have to tell me, maybe can we go to such a ritual you were describing in the summer inspiration session that we pick one and go through them and maybe we can share it, or is it not not allowed or not okay?
Yeah, sure. You want me to grab one of
That
those
that
inspiration
that would
sessions?
that would be cool. Maybe then we can guide our audience a bit through this and maybe can give them a practical example. Maybe if you have a cool one, that
Yeah,
would be
I
so
will
amazing if you can.
go have a look. One of the inspiration sessions that I've worked on for this summer.
I think let's took a summer session. Are we in the summer season? I think that
Yeah.
fits. I see here the dance of the colibris, or I don't know,
Yeah.
Hanami, the Aloha, also a nice one, I think. But you can
Well, yeah.
choose. It's
No,
up to you.
whatever you like best.
I would go for the Aloha, honestly. I really like
Okay,
this
I will
idea because
get.
there's also a lot of things that was a bit new for me, but that sounds all amazing. But and then you can see, and now I know why, because you're a journalist, your writing is so excellent and so on
No,
point.
no, no, it's definitely
Now it
not
makes sense.
excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice
So,
of you.
so
Um,
maybe for the audience, so Evelyn is writing every for the summer and also for the winter, I think, correct? For Aromen, she's writing or she's creating rituals with different smoke rituals with Aromens, and then she's creating a vision and she's sending out this to all the people who has exclusive partners with Aromen. Is that correct? Or are using Aromen oils, essential oils from Aromen, and are partner of Aromen in this way? Is that correct? Please correct
um,
me.
so yes, those are the wellness experience centers. We
Ah,
have a
okay.
close connection to them, and as an extra service, we provide each season 10 or more inspiration sessions with the latest products, but also just to give more inspiration for everyone. Um, and we also recently we started to print them and add some to our delivery boxes. So if people have a big order, then we will just send them some inspiration session as well, because that's what we do.
Really cool. We're coming to the topic of Aromen and what she's doing there later on, so don't worry. That would be another topic for today. But now let's go to one of the summer sessions.
Okay.
Uh, so, is Aloha a good example? You have to tell me if this makes sense to create a nice picture for our audience. So you are the expert, not me.
Well, actually, I have to still look at it here because I haven't found it yet on my computer. Because they just asked me for the herbal cup, we're doing gift boxes, and Martijn just asked me to create an inspiration session, especially for herbal
Mm.
cup, and then we will provide
Ah,
the ingredients and everything inside that box.
cool. We can also use this one if you are allowed to share. That depends, you have to say, not that we are dropping something too early.
Yeah, no, if it's we still have to distribute it, so I have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah,
It
makes
has to
sense.
be
Makes
some
sense.
element of surprise.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at the sessions because I'm now in sessions of 2024, which is not the idea.
But you can also use one of these. I think it makes, also the idea is that I think to create this picture for the audience because I really liked what you were talking to me about that. And it's a different way you are looking on rituals than me. Also if I can compare this and only a
Yeah.
sauna master without this background, it's a bit more, you have more deep in it, in your rituals and more, yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. But I'm really struggling to find where I put all of that because I've been doing this for 3 years now, so I have lots of inspiration sessions. Hmm, you have the time, right?
I have the time.
Okay. I want to make it a nice one.
Take your time. I cut this out later.
Thank God.
No, but it's really cool. I really love it. You have so many knowledge. It's amazing.
No, I'm at the
Don't you
beginning.
have?
No, no, no,
Uh,
no, no.
Yeah, but still, look at all the other sauna masters. Nobody have only 10% of your knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they do.
You think they
I
have
do.
more than 10? You think they have the knowledge you have? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, 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 lots of them do. Not all,
But
of course,
this,
but lots of them do.
okay, wow.
You wanted to talk about the Aloha Aina, the scrub.
If, if this makes sense, or we can go for other one. Depends.
Yeah, whatever you like. I mean, we can
Well,
do.
this was on. This was the scrub session. And then maybe it took maybe. What's about the hanami, the traditional Japanese?
Hanami. Yeah, flower viewing.
Is
Yeah,
this a good one? Or the
yeah.
dance of the colibris? It sounds all amazing. That's I think everything
Maybe
is
we can do the
amazing.
dance of the colibris because it has a smoke box as well.
Then let's go for the dance of the colibris. Cool.
Okay.
Damn. So then, would you like to tell us about the dance of the colibris, the summer session ritual you were sharing?
Yes. So for the summer sessions, I just envision what's happening in summer, and I've been doing this for 3 years now. So you can't just keep on thinking of, oh, I need to make something that's relaxing but also cooling people down, and you have to think outside of the box a little bit. And then I dive into like some spiritual uses and whatever visions come to mind. And for me, summer is also about flowers and nature exploding. And what fits very well with summer is like the feelings of love, easygoing, lightness, joy. And I just pick a title actually first, and then I I build a ritual around it. So the colibri is like the messenger of the love, lightness, and joy. And then I'm thinking, what can how can we get that feeling across to clients? It's a little bit flirtatious, it's a little bit playful, it's light and fun. So, yeah, I start with the black copal smoke because For me, Black Copal, I love it. It's one of my favorite smoke boxes. It has a very animalistic, wet forest kind of vibe to it. And for me, I always describe it. You can feel your pupils widening. You can feel the animal inside of
Mm.
you roaring, like ready to jump and play. But in the scent, it really sets the tone of we are now in a forest like with ferns and flowers everywhere, where there is nice, cool mist yet and some water droplets on the plants. And then, of course, I want to set the tone even more, and we have the rosewood. And rosewood is delicious, it is sweet, it is woody, it is
Mm.
floral. So we can smell trees, we can smell the leaves, and we can also already have like a sense of, oh, there is a promise of flowers nearby. We can't see them yet, but we can smell the nectar, right? And then
Mhm.
in the last round, I just imagine like the fluttering heart of a colibri when they are rewarded with the nectar, with the drink of the flower. And we have Hosho and Palmarosa, because that's the perfect combination of like sweetness, floral, but I also like a little twist. I don't want it to be too basic. That's why I
Mhm.
combine those two to make it a little bit more mysterious. And I hope that the Aufguss Masters will choose some music that is as light and playful, and also a little bit animalistic, and just keep their
Mhm.
waving light and fresh and very optimistic. And that's how I see it in my mind. And I just do this theoretically behind my desk. This is the world that I
Mhm.
create. And you bring that to life in your sauna.
It's amazing. Also, thanks for sharing that. I love how you can create these nice pictures. So I could imagine. I think we have to speak this story in the sauna. Also, I would be nice maybe if you audio record that, and then the people, the Aufgussmaster can tell exactly this story because this is so cool. Also, thanks a lot for sharing that, and the pictures are amazing you were creating. And I think this is then, as you said, the challenge of the sauna master to transfer this story
Yeah.
because this with all this information surrounded it's so nice and I could imagine people sitting there or me sitting there and saying wow, yeah, that makes sense, yeah, let's go. I'm close
Yeah,
my
I
eyes
hope
and
so. But
no,
what gives
really
me
cool.
the goosebumps is that you have these creative Aufgussmasters, and they will add to that. They will just use this as a basic idea, and then they will add like a small drizzle of cooling rainforest refreshment with
Mhm.
their whisks, for example, that would match perfectly with it. So that's where my mind keeps going.
And also a lot of respect that you have this power to imagining all these rituals only in theory, as a sitting on a desk.
Yeah.
Because you said you're not doing rituals, but did you never did a ritual by your own? Or if you're creating like the colibri ritual, are you testing it by your own? Or is it really you're trusting your theoretically experience and then say, no, I don't have to do it? Or are you really going into a sauna and test it for yourself if it's nice or not? Or do you have maybe some people, some friends that are helping you with that, or how are you doing?
Yeah. So I write all 10 of them purely theoretical. And
Oh.
when I'm done with writing, obviously I go test, but also here at my desk, like there is this way of using this. Like, let's say I have three oils,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just unscrew them and you let them wave in front of your nose, and then you just
Mm.
see, does it work? Does that fit the image in my mind? And obviously, when I finish writing and testing and the scents really combine nicely, then I send it to Martijn because he is like the master
Mm.
in Aufguss. And with his experience, he sometimes corrects me, like he says, that will be a little bit too powerful in sauna, or that will
Mm.
be a bit too strong, or you need something light, and then I adjust the ritual. So it's like a nice interaction between practical knowledge and my crazy mind.
Really cool. Really cool. Because you were showing it, if you are combining two oils or you want to smell if they're good, how's the good way? Because what I learned, but correct me, don't put it directly under your nose, then it's
Hmm.
getting too much. So keep a bit of a distance, or what would be your suggestion how to do it? Or are you waving it with your hand a bit to your nose? Or what's the best way to get the full experience of this,
Yeah.
especially if you have more oils than one you
Yeah.
want to
So,
try?
as I told you, like you first, well, if you can, you write it down, but I have lots of people just following their nose like Gandalf did. So you hold them in front of you, you unscrew
Yeah.
the tops. Make sure you know which top is for which oil because otherwise they are ruined. So keep the order. And you start further away and just wave it in front of you. And what that will do is it will give you even an idea of the dosage. One is coming across a lot more than the others. So in your ritual, you already know, oh, I have to dose this a lot lower than the other ones. And this is a very cool experience. And if you're not sure if this one matches, you hold it aside, you do it again, and that might give you an
Yeah.
idea. Ooh, I think actually this essential oil will match a lot better. And then you can play with it and just, yeah, trust your nose with it.
Cool. That I did not know. Thanks. I will do that. Because sometimes when I smell the oils, it feels so overwhelming because it's so intense, because it's a concentrate, and then in the cabin it's a bit more different. And then when you smell
Yes.
it on the bottle, it's so intense, and then you put, I don't know, 10 drops on the ball and you ice pour, and then you go in the cabinets. Where's the smell? I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
wow, really,
That's your knowledge
really,
that you're building. Also,
yeah, yeah, it's true. That's true.
yeah. And also, a tip is just use the cap to smell and not the bottle because it's a little bit more refined.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have some more tips? I'm open for
Yeah.
it.
We can be here 5 days.
I could imagine. I
Yeah.
could imagine. No, amazing. Really cool. So thanks a lot. Maybe that's a good point to switch a bit to Aromen, and
Hmm.
that's what you're doing there. And maybe you can tell us, how did you start with Aromen, or where did you met the people there, or how did it start your journey?
Okay. So, as you know, I was just teaching herbalism, and I started in September with a new group, and there comes Martijn van Horelbeke. He wanted to study herbalism, but I could right away tell that this was not an ordinary student. He had a mission, he had a goal, he was already deep into the Aufguss world. Um, and it was a nice connection. He was very curious and wanted to learn, but he was also manifesting his company already. So he was busy, busy, busy as always. And afterwards, after the course, I think like a year later or so, he calls me and he says, yeah, can you write a course for my company? And I do these assignments just freelance. And I started writing courses implementing herbal treatments in sauna and steam bath. So I wrote that course for him. And then, still freelance, I wrote the smoke rituals for Aromen. And then afterwards, the company kept growing. And I got a call asking if I would be interested in working for the company. And I would normally never work for a boss, but yeah, in Martijn you can, yeah, it's full trust. So that was an epic opportunity, and I agreed immediately.
Really cool. When was it? Can you remember the year?
Well,
When
I
did you
started,
met him?
ooh, when I met him,
Also when
must,
he was in your class. Do you know
yeah,
that?
must be 10 years ago or something.
Okay,
Yeah. And then,
cool.
yeah, you can see the timeline on Aromen, where we started the herbal treatments, when we started the smoke
Ah,
courses. And
okay.
now in January, I will be working there for 4 years.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So really cool. Okay, that's the story how you come to Aromen. Okay, for everyone who don't know, Martijn is the owner of Aromen and the founder, I think, correct?
Co-founder together with
Co-founder
Jurgen. Yeah.
with his brother,
That's
Or
that's
yeah.
no, that's a friend.
Ah,
He
okay.
used
Sorry.
to do the competitions, the Aufguss competitions with Jurgen, and together they founded Aromen. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Then, yeah, maybe I have him also one day here in the podcast. Would be cool. So, Aroman, maybe you can tell the audience a bit that don't know Aroman. What are you doing? So, what is the portfolio of Aroman, and maybe also the mission?
hmm So the mission is actually really like bringing natural wellness and spreading a lot of knowledge and the best quality products. Um, and I used to never like be part of a company or just promote one company, but I am truly on board with the vision and the values of Aromen. And what's beautiful is that every member, every colleague has the same mission, the same values, the same quality that they want to deliver to people. And our strength, or Martijn's strength actually, is that he inspires people and he educates people. So it's not about selling products, it's about selling education, about inspiration, about Aufguss family, and just really sharing because nature is for everyone, right? And he has very strong core values, like, for example, rosewood, an essential oil we just now released again. It wasn't in our range for many, many years. Why? Because it was not possible to get it in a sustainable way for nature and for communities of the location there. And Martin then just says, although it's very popular in demand, we will just skip it, take it out of the range. And he's always scouting new locations, new essential oil suppliers. And now we have one that's organic and sustainable and ecological. And then he says, okay, time to release it again.
Mm.
But I think the most important one is with respect for nature and other people, bringing nature back as a basics instead of the chemicals that have been used in the wellness sector.
Yeah, I can agree. I think especially the education part, so rising the oils and also the nature a bit more than only, hey, it's an oil and you can use it. So telling about the why and the background, and
hmm
also the impact that it could have on
Yeah.
body, mind, everything else. Really cool. So, Aroman is you're selling courses or you're giving courses. So you are also a coach for Aroman. So you're giving then the herbal coaches and also the smoke rituals. Sort of which type of courses you are doing?
Well, it depends. Felix is really our master educator. He travels the world to spread the news. So he's the star for the education.
Okay.
And I stay more close to home. Like I do sometimes in the Netherlands, I've been, and in Germany one or two times. And I always make an exception for Cosmin in Romania. Um, but for the rest, I don't want to really travel that far. So yeah, it's mostly Felix doing the courses.
Okay, but you're also giving courses, or online courses, or some seminars, or
Yeah,
not?
we're actually now implementing a platform. We've built a studio at Aromen, so I can do some online teachings, do some Q&As with people, some basic information like how to make a scrub and everything, because there's so much knowledge to share, and I can't wait. But the traveling is a bit tricky sometimes if you have a
I could
family.
imagine.
So yeah, we're expanding a lot, and we will also do a bit more of the online teaching, but it's still important to have it hands-on and in real life as well, to smell, to experiment,
Yeah.
to try, to learn from each other's mistakes. So the basic knowledge we will definitely give online as well.
Okay. And then I think you're offering a lot of oils. I don't know how many. Maybe you know the number, how many oils Aroman is offering at the moment.
I actually don't.
I have
It's
no idea.
insane. And we're soon releasing a lot more. There are some African oils coming, there are some Japanese oils
Oh.
coming, and oh, yeah, that's every time well, Martijn is always discovering fun things. So whenever I go to work at Aromen, he says, Eveline, come smell. I found something new. And we're as excited as on Christmas morning. So it's always a lot of fun.
That sounds really cool. And then you also have the smoke equipment, so smoke stuff you're selling, and also then infusions or sprays or something like that, or what is also
So
part of
we sell essential oils, we sell hydrosols, we sell,
hydrosols? Yeah.
yeah, different parts for scrubs. We sell plant powders, some herbs, smoke boxes, equipment, carrier oils. So basically, clays, basically everything you might need to perform a natural wellness ritual, we can provide it.
Yeah, cool. Maybe because I never heard it. What is plant powder, or how you're using plant powder? I have
Yeah.
never heard about it.
So if you're making a scrub or a face mask, you might have tried it already to grind your dried plant material yourself, but it's actually almost impossible to get a very fine powder without any sticky grains that could harm the skin. So we actually provide the plant powders that have gone through a sift or a sieve, or I don't know how to say it. And the grains are all equal and they're very gentle for use on skin. So they're easy to add a teaspoon to your clay or to your scrub, and then you have the healing benefits of the plant without tons of work to getting it finely grinded like that.
Okay, okay, you're helping. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Okay, cool. So, and maybe let's go a bit more to what sectors is Aromen doing? You're supporting a lot of the sauna world, but I think I talked to Martijn last year. He also said that the food industry is also a big part for oils that are using essential oils for using products and something like that. Is it true? Do you
Well,
know about that?
that's actually thanks to Jurgen, the co-founder. He's he's really active in the food industry. People come to him and they ask, "Can you create me a flavor for a cocktail, or can you create me a flavor for whatever?" And he has this lab with all these different scents and bottles and essential oils, and he's the mastermind to create flavors that go really well. And he has now a new invention, Drops, which are in water soluble essential oils, which he invented and
Yeah,
is changing history forever. Yeah, so he is tackling food industry as well with the essential oils.
it's amazing. So that means you can put the oil in the water and it get mixed with the water. Did I get it
Yes.
correct?
And
How
it's
does it work? Huh?
ah,
That's
that's the plant magic
okay.
where the chemicals of the plants are used with great knowledge, and it's an all natural process that he created and invented,
Crazy.
using another plant to make it so you can dissolve it in water directly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's really cool. Wow. Nice. Yeah, it's how much power these oils have. It's amazing. It's so cool to
Yeah.
talk about
Maybe we
this
only know the
topic.
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, maybe. Wow, insane. So cool. Okay, then we have this part of Aromen. So Aromen is also supporting, as you said, like the herbal carb sessions and also a lot of Afgos masters. And I see
Hmm.
them of a lot of events. I think you were at the Herbarium this year in Bucharest. That's what you said. You make your exception to go there.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we can start with this experience, or maybe you can share about Herbarium. Maybe only a few sentences. What is Herbarium? Maybe you can give only for the audience that don't know what is it is, and what did you do there, and what is maybe the part Aromen took place in the Herbarium? What special things, or maybe you doing there? Or that would be cool if you
Mhm.
can guide us a bit through this.
So the herbarium is actually an epic invention or another epic invention of Cosmin, where he gathers people from all over the world, from all different cultures, with their own heritage knowledge of herbs. And he creates this huge platform for people to be able to experience different natural rituals inside sauna and steam bath. And what is very beautiful is that he also connects those different Aufgussmasters, healers, suppliers that all work with the same goal of working with nature, and he just connects them and empowers them, gives them a platform, which is very, very beautiful. And for Aromen, we have a stand of Aromen just to show people what our products are, because in Terme Bucuresti they work with Aromen a lot. And Cosmin always asks me to do a talk inside the sauna to share some knowledge with people, with guests, on the importance of working with natural botanicals inside sauna and wellness.
So that means you it's like a Q&A, so people can ask you questions, or is it like a presentation and you're
I
telling
do
them
a
in the sauna?
presentation,
Or
so they have that
yeah?
Hollywood sauna with that epic screen.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and there I do a
Cool.
presentation and I talk, and then afterwards people can ask questions, and yeah, it's
Cool.
very nice.
And then they come to your stand and try and test the oils and smell
They
them
can test,
live.
and they Cosmin like upgraded with a new idea now that Aroman provided 2 or 3 experiences that are performed in sauna, so people can
Oh,
experience the treatments, which is a lot
nice.
nicer than hearing me talk about it if you can actually feel it. So yeah, it's growing and
But
growing.
who's performing the rituals if you don't do it for
A
a
member of
Roman?
the wellness tribe. Yeah.
Okay.
They yeah, his tribe is epic, and they come to
Okay.
me, they ask some information, and then they work their magic. They build on it and they lift it to an even higher level. I love the wellness tribe of Cosmin, so yeah, big fan.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I think also what you said, the connection of the people and the different nations are special. Or I mean, you, I think, have experience with or I think so, every nation. So are there a lot of difference between the nations, or how are you seeing the world of herbalism if you compare it between nations?
Yeah.
Maybe if you have an example, if you want to maybe make it a bit specified, maybe you have a cool example, or maybe also an experience you were open up because you were seeing something that you never saw before and was surprised. I don't know. Maybe you have a
hmm
cool thing to share.
Well, the truth is, with herbal use, there's not as much shocking things to see or experience from different nations, but what is very different, like for example, this time in Herbarium in Bucharest, I've met a very, very inspiring woman. She is the third generation performing Temascal, but authentic, like from grandparents, parents, now her. And it's that internal power, that internal connection through the lineage and to the nature, that's epic. Because here in the West, our grandparents also used herbs, but we have a disconnection. And now our generation has to relearn it, but we have lost that intuitive power, that ritual belief in ourselves to perform and work with herbs. So I would be so happy if we could share her information in your chat notes or whatever of this podcast. It was Amairani, and she is a
Very good.
yeah. I've
Maybe
seen
you
her
can
do
tell.
amazing things.
Maybe you can explain to the audience what is Temascal. Maybe you can give them some background because you told it me I think 3 months ago. I didn't hear it before, but
hmm
it sounds really amazing. So maybe you can tell the audience a bit what is behind.
Yeah, so it's actually an ancient tradition in Mexico. It is a very specific sauna, which is pitch black, completely dark, and you have this person, this healer, that is guiding you through a very personal process. So you have a cleansing before you enter the Temascal, and there they like call on to the powers of the spirits, the plants, the smoke, whatever, and they guide you through a very specific personal trajectory that you're going on. And it takes a very powerful, um, yeah, ancient healer to be able to hold space for that and create a very sacred environment. And that's a ritual that can go on for like an hour. It goes very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. And you also experienced these rituals in Bucharest, so they did exactly this type of rituals there,
No,
or
so they don't have a temazcal or that type of sauna, but
okay,
that's where her ancient lineage power came
yeah,
in. She was able
okay,
to perform like just a fraction of that ritual inside a steam bath, and people were just crying. They had a
really, okay,
life-altering experience. Even other sauna masters, one of the wellness tribe experienced it, and she was completely, her life changed. She had goosebumps, she was crying. She said, I've experienced something, and it took like 15 minutes. So that's where that true to nature power of that ancient healing comes from. So it's very beautiful
wow.
to watch.
Sounds cool. Because you were talking about that rituals can also do an hour. I think there are also rituals that are 4, 6, 8 hours. I've never experienced that by my own, but like the full moon rituals, I think Jerome is doing in Faresbad or something like
Yes.
that. They are really long.
Yeah.
So, what is maybe or what is the difference between, let's say, a short one and a longer one? Is it the effect you can do, or you can go deeper, as you said before, or what is for you the most difference from like let's take a 1 hour ritual compared to a 4 hour ritual? What is, maybe you can give us some insights.
Yeah. So I personally don't do or write rituals for the 4 hours. But what is for me the biggest difference is, first of all, the Aufgussmaster that is guiding you. He has to have full knowledge of body, soul, hold space, because it's not for everyone. If you're new to sauna, and I've been lately, not to name names because that's a bit tricky in my position, but I had the first time opportunity to have a session with the world champion of Michael Niedermeyer,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and in 15 minutes, he sent me through 4 years of therapy. So that's what I mean. Like, you can go for a ritual of 4 hours, which is transformative, but it doesn't have to be. It's not for everyone.
Okay.
You can easily have a huge impact in that 15-minute session. And my guidance would be, listen to your body and listen to what is right for you. They are very specific. The 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thanks for that. You've been listening to Steam and Soul, where the heat lingers and the stories stay with you. Until next time, stay steamy, stay soulful.